What's up, y'all? This is your boy Gerald. It's the 16th of November, 2015, and getting ready to start my day. I hope that this is the beginning of your week. I hope that your weekend finds you well, as well as you're allowing time to reconnect to yourself. But I got this feeling that somebody right now is being faced with a decision. On one side is your reality. On the other side is the price of that reality. And you are in your crossroads now. You're starting, you're getting to a point that you can't turn a blind eye to the events that have played out in your life. At first, you kind of scratch your head and you even said to yourself, oh, that's coincidental. But underlining, it spoke to your soul. It spoke to that core of what makes you you, your essence, your spirit. And it was a feeling unlike any other. See, what you were witnessing, what you may not realize is there was some divine intervention going on at that moment, because you might not realize is what you cannot see may be the steps that may cause your demise. I'm not trying to startle no one, but I've got a feeling that somebody, because you have a love affair with your denial, you actually find safety in delusion. That now, because you allowed your ego and pride to proverbially write a check that you already know is going to bounce, you went on ahead and did it anyway. You've had the mindset for a period of time of knowing that, well, hey, I'm smarter than the average Joe and I'll navigate through that just as I've done before. And I also pointed this out too. See, the environment that you were reared in is not the environment that you're in now. There's a different set of rules that you know nothing about. And you're trying to fake it to make it with the end goal that will benefit you. There are nothing but losers in this game. So when it comes to your life, why are you playing? You only have one life. Why are you not choosing to see your worth and invest? Don't you realize the harvest that is the foundation of your legacy are made of the merits of the actions that you choose through free will? So, this goes out to someone. Because, see, you're at the crossroads. You've actually scratched your head and you said to yourself, I've seen this before. But yet, you don't see what was being revealed all along. See, you have a promise assigned to your legacy. But before you can have your legacy, you must have the foundations of you. You've got to get back to that little boy, that little girl that lives and breathes inside you, that shows you the validation of what your choices is. And the problem is now that you feel that you've gotten your footing, it's getting to a point that you're finding a hard time to not ignore the numbness. See, the numbness that you feel is really the footing of your life as you know it. And you're losing footing of yourself. So if you don't know who you are, how are you going to expect to understand the reality outside your door? Now's the time that you ground your feet. Now is the time that you take stock in your life. You already know what does not work for you. Why do you not heed what has been revealed? Why do you think it's being revealed to you? Because God loves you. But because of choices, fears, and non-responsibility, you are afraid to have that conversation with him. He's been waiting on you the moment that you were made aware. It's not his responsibility to usher you to him. It's your responsibility to lean upon him. He can't protect someone who does not want to be protected. I don't have to tell you that. How long do you think you're going to go hiding those bruises? Oh, I know I'm talking to somebody. How long do you think that shame that you've been carrying for so long is going to stay compressed? Don't you realize what you're witnessing is a covert way of spiritual attack? And it's got you shook. Rightfully so. I say this out of love, y'all, because I know that there's someone in a crossroads. See, right now, you think you have control of what you see and survey. But what you don't see is the devil's work is never done. And what you don't realize is those who try, well, they say those who start the game end up being captured by the game, because the game was a ruse to pull you from yourself, to get you away from your moral compass, to get you from your emotional self. You do understand that the devil has nothing to do but destroy your life. That's why he doesn't want to have anything to do with love. That is why he will always give you what you want and desire, never what you need. Why? Because he hates God. And anything that is a representation of God, he wants to make sure that it is broken. What do you think our testimonies are about? It is validation that you've made it through the storm. But some of you are afraid to get wet. And you've allowed your shallowness to fool you. How long do you think your vitality is going to last? I know there's somebody right now, you're saying, well, you know what, I do got that doctor appointment. It's never too late to turn around, y'all. I don't wish bad on no one. But free will is exactly what it is. If you do not like the environment that you're in, why don't you have the courage to change it? If you allow your surroundings to keep you anchored in your despair, that is a choice. But if love does not exist, why are you there? I've said this for, I know I've said this over 100 times, 100 times. You see, there is somebody right now that you have a connection with. See, the people that don't wish you well, those are soul ties. Those are made of lust. Ain't nothing good coming out of soul ties but pain. But then there are some that have soul contracts. We know them as soul mates. If I want to use that as a descriptive word, that they will show you nothing but unconditional love. They want nothing but the best for your life. They want you to succeed, but they also respect free will. So, since they understand that, they're not going to interfere. They're not going to intrude. They're going to do what was required, and that is to pray for you. Speak your name into existence for spiritual protection. See, the last thing that you want to do is set your watch on what you think is your reality. Because guess what? You wasn't guaranteed to wake up this morning. Just as well as you're not guaranteed to see tomorrow. That is the first validation that God wants you to fulfill your promise. Your promise is your purpose. That's why you don't see growth in deception, manipulation, cunningness, or strife. Those things only yield death, delay, and unfortunately, denial. So my queens, how long you gonna go suffering in silence? Don't you realize, longer you do not speak your truth, claim your worth, allow yourself to heal, your reality will be just as it is. It will not change but get worse. And yes, you may convince yourself of being lucky to navigate from that one problem. But guess what? That only went down so that the conflict could be positioned right in front of you to sit you down. My kings, our women need us, but we need ourselves first. Do not base your self-respect off of what is found in the world. Do not. If it's meant for you to have, do the work without compromising what you stand for. There's no respect in fear, y'all. There's none. So, now's the time that you look at that burden. You so hard, you hard, right? If you so hard, why won't you go in your emotional backpack and look at those pains you've been running from? You got it figured out. Why won't you do what you need to do and cut those ties? The reality is you're afraid to. You're afraid to do something different. You're afraid to fight for your life. So I know there's somebody on the crossroads right now hearing exactly what I'm saying. You may have some thoughts going on thinking that this is going to be a come up for you. Oh, I know I'm talking to somebody. That ain't the way. That ain't the way. This is your validation right now. You thinking this is going to be the master plan to get you where you need to do. Little do you know. Only thing that's going to be reality on that one is an outcome that you do not want. You're not built for that. So the question is, what is it going to take for you to love yourself? Because if you really loved yourself, you would know the power of those three words and what it takes to earn it, but more importantly, what it takes to define it. I'm praying for y'all. 2016 is going to be a big year for y'all. Some of y'all are going to have no choice but to look at the truth for exactly what it is, and it's going to knock you on your butt because you've had so many opportunities, so many, to turn it around. I know somebody's saying, oh, you ain't talking to me. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Because you don't know the meaning of what living is all about. You're basing it on the perceptions of what society tells you. You start to live when you are emotionally free. When you understand what intimacy is. If you think intimacy is based off of getting it in, guess what? You don't know you. You don't have a clue. And you're cheating yourself from the joy that you rightfully are entitled to. So like I said in my last video, if you have a hard time looking yourself in the mirror, because guess what? The person looking back knows. They know how you're living. You can fool them, but you can't fool yourself. So what are you running from? What do you have to prove? All you have to prove is to yourself that you matter, that you're worth being happy. Or you can go the route that so many have before you and squander your life, do time in your mind, and ultimately pay by the scars found on your body, inside or out, medically, physically, socially. I don't mind losing my subscribers. I don't. I don't. If I lose every one of you, that's fine. If the result means you grow. But if you continue to turn a blind eye on the things you're afraid of, first of all, you can't change something until you look at it first. You got to acknowledge it exists. Doesn't matter how you try to doll it up. Broken is broken. So look at your environment. And the sad thing about it, your friends, if they're your friends, why ain't they there telling you what you need? Why? Because they ain't never with your friends. They just want you to play a position for their distraction because they don't have the courage to do the work. So misery always loves company. Ultimately, we have the choice of how we choose to live our lives. But ultimately, it's not until we know who we are on the inside that is what defines it. So, For those that are on the crossroads, how long you gonna keep living that life? How long you gonna allow them to lie to you? If you pissed off, be pissed off to change it. Because I'm gonna tell you what, those cemeteries got people in it that should not have been. But they were there because of choices made. Don't squander your life, y'all. Don't do it. It's not worth it. So, like Diana Ross's mahogany theme, do you know? Do you like the things that life is showing you? Do you know? Fall back in love with yourself. God's praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. And for that, for that, for that, it helps me discern mine. Ain't nothing worse to watch someone's blessing be fulfilled by someone else. Peace.